foot, you're hot. Itch. Old little classic car. Classic car over here. Something with the Mustang. I don't know if it was the 10th million Mustang. Seems like a low number. With it, just like a limited car, limited version. El Camino, 1959. We have a Murph 78. El Camino. You're hot and you're cold. I didn't even think we were going to be able to do a show here this morning. I went to click on the camera and nothing happened. Usually, like, the humidity, sometimes it'll hesitate, but not long, but it did a long hesitation. But anyway, we're here. 38.95, 24 cut cheese, 24 wings, plus 2-liter beverage of your choice. You're hot and you're cold. Cold. She was hot. In the melt and snow, I was lost. She had no place to go. Actually, yesterday I was talking with somebody from Russia. He's originally from Russia. Actually, he don't speak English. He knows certain words. That's why my two friends that were using one of those things. He talks into it, and then I'd never that advanced. I wish we had stuff like that. I'd settle for a decent, camera man or woman. But this is what we do. We did it for a while. And what I was getting at yesterday, was like confidence. I might have lost a lot of confidence. Maybe I never had it to begin with. There's this thing with masculinity. This professor of film and gender. A place to sit here. But anyway, the Earth. 1.3 million Earths can fit in the sun. And you gotta say to yourself, that is big. 1.3 million Earths. Go ask science about it. See what they say. But there was this professor. She was film and gender. And she was having a conversation with Jesse Waters, and this just like struck me, like it was just this like a little tiny little shining moment about things that have taken place. Let's go back to like the Who, my generation. Why don't you all fade while talking about my generation? Don't try and dig, we all say. But they were having a discussion. Well, first, Jesse was like just talking to some people on campus, and the one girl said, "Yeah, I could probably lift more than you," and all that kind of stuff. But the masculinity and privilege, because Jesse Waters is white, and he's a male. So she's like, and she was talking about the Me Too movement and all these kinds of movements and stuff. Basically, but let me get to the thing that, like, the point that she was making. All right, it's small, but it could have some kind of substance, if I remember correctly. So so she goes, well, you have the white privilege. And Jesse's like, well, what about a man like, making $20 an hour, struggling, the economy's struggling, this and that, whatever. And she goes, well, he still has his white privilege. He might not have economic privilege, but he still has his white privilege. And then, I don't know, the conversation veered off toward something of, she was explaining, she's like, well, it's like, you can see white males, you can do things that we can't. Like, for instance, like, you can go out to a tavern or a bar or a club and act any way you want, like, and nobody's going to say anything to you. And Jesse's like, really? I mean, I don't know. That's basically what came at me. Like, he's like, talking about this is the privilege that you, because you're white, you can just go out to a bar and talk like a fool, or say anything you want, act ridiculous, and that's it. That's I guess that was one of them. I didn't hear anything else other than that. All right, time for our coffee. So the Earth is huge. It's a big place. And I was talking to our friend Bill, and he's good friends with the owner of the Black Bear. And while I was waiting for the store open because I needed peanuts, we got a lot today. See, it was our morning little thing. Yes, everything is fine. We just do this, experimental thing. Maybe down the road, who knows? Like, maybe a year or 2 or 3, who knows? When all this is cleared up, and maybe people can just just embrace one another, and stop all this, like dissecting. I mean, we've seen Van Jones there with Leslie Jones. I guess she's a comedian, and she says the same thing. She's like, no matter what, we gotta like stop, falling for this kind of like this narrative in a way, like, I mean, and like, I mean, I'm not quoting her anymore. I'm just saying what she said. I'm just going on my own with this. I'm saying to myself, we really do got to stop it, because it was generally a fair election. It was generally fair. There's a lot of things that happened. And of course, some of you are probably learning a little bit more about Christopher Steele and McCabe and the dossier, and then Mueller. I mean, a lot of people are going around saying that no single counselor or prosecutor, however you say it, no single counsel, like whatever Mueller is, he's the FBI head and probably head and everything, cannot indict the president. So I mean, trying to get him on something, when you really got to look at what got us there, like what started the investigation. I mean, yes, you got Manafort there. I mean, it seems like everyone on Hillary's side, anyone associated close to Hillary, they're not in trouble. They don't have to face prosecution. They're not under the spotlight. Just like the movement, this movement, excuse me, this movement started, and you got to say to yourself, well, why did it start? Yes, it's good. It's good. Yes, there is this thing, boys will be boys, girls will be girls, and I'm sure, I mean, that's how it is. That's how it's always been. I mean, the teenagers right now growing up, or when they're going to college, I mean, it does seem different, because I was like viewing like the Charleston thing there, and seeing like the people like walking. It does look different. I mean, every generation, I guess, is different. Yes, I like how you did that song, like, people try to put us. All right, so I go serious stuff here, because we got we did get a like from one of our friends there, where we were back in our musical day. I mean, it is something to talk about, and the credentials and everything. Sometimes I bring up, that I too experienced something. I experienced something debilitating, and I didn't get any help. I didn't get any help. And I thought, like I said, with this new kind of beautiful, open-armed, liberal world, like when I was doing the show, like went back with Obama. Again, I accepted it. He was president. It wasn't, no one was just like getting together saying, he must be impeached. If he's not impeached, he must be. I mean, I think about this. I've been thinking about where is it going to end? I mean, the guy from Bar Rescue, like he's on one of these shows. He's like, where's the problem? Where's the problem? I mean, first we got to determine what did he do wrong, and in the investigation, everything like points towards like something like was placed there. Something was placed there, and I don't know how how long they can keep this up. It's almost like something run over a cliff. And yes, some people out there talking. I'm out here with a coffee and a camera. Alright, let's get in. It could be, it's a Saturday night. We'll be right back. Did we play any music? Russia, what was that? We'll get back to it.
Colluding with the Russians on the dossier information, trying to legitimize it in order to discredit Trump and his presidency after the presidency. That's the point that I believe. He didn't state it, but I believe that's the point that Rudy Giuliani is trying to get to. That the Department of Justice was colluding with Christopher Steele, therefore the Russians, because that's where the information came from. All Christopher Steele had was the information he got from the Russians. The Department of Justice